Welcome back. You're watching The Clash this Friday evening. Today, the topic is Navjot Singh Sidhu going over to Pakistan to accept his friend Imran Khan's invitation. We are not against peace, and tonight I will argue while not being against peace, Sidhu perhaps jumped the gun. He should have waited, should have been cautious, and should have seen how Imran Khan rules first as a Prime Minister. There are many on this side of the border who feel he's nothing but a deep state proxy Democrat. More arguments on the other side. My name is Atar Khan. Here's Mahadas Gopalakrishnan.
Yes, and I'm going to be arguing that at the end of the day, Sidhu is not going as a government representative. He is only going to meet an old friend from the cricketing fraternity, and that's all he's going to do. There's going to be no dealing in terms of government. He is a minister in Punjab. Imran Khan is, at the end of the day, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and they're only going in their form of friendship as cricketers that they're going to renew once again on ground there in Pakistan. Lots more that we'll be debating on the show. But first up, the big question this evening.
And the big question tonight, the first question tonight is this: has Sidhu jumped the gun in trusting politician Imran Khan? Here is my submission for my argument. Navjot Singh Sidhu says he's a goodwill ambassador, not a representative of the government. I understand and agree, but Mr. Sidhu perhaps jumped the gun. We should at least see, anyone on this side of the border should see how Imran Khan, the politician, the Prime Minister, rules. Is he going to play puppet to the deep state proxies in Pakistan, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, GHQ? That's why I say Sidhu should have waited. My second point, Sidhu has legitimized by his visit and by going so over enthusiastically, so eagerly, a deeply flawed, what many Pakistanis call a questionable election. My point number 3 is this: Sidhu is confusing his cricketer dost Imran Khan, a towering figure in the cricketing game, to the politician Imran Khan, who is in power now and is untested. Saying in the fact that will he stand up to the ISI establishment in Pakistan? That's why I say he is confusing the cricketer with the politician. He should have waited.
Navjot Singh है जो अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जब प्रधानमंत्री थे, at that time he was in Pakistan and he has been asked to come back to India and contest the election from अमृतसर लोकसभा सीट, and जहाँ से जीत करके वो लोकसभा में लेकर के गए. आज उन्हीं अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी का दाह संस्कार था और वो छोड़ करके ये पाकिस्तान गया है.
And here's my counter. At the end of the day, Sidhu isn't going there as an ambassador, as a diplomat. He is going there only to meet and greet an old friend from the cricketing field, someone who he's known for the past 4 decades, as Sidhu himself says. Now, the fact is this, that why are we placing so much of distrust in what is an electoral process? It's true that the Pakistan electoral system may not be perfect, but he's a democratically elected leader. He may have the support of certain wings of the government, but that does not take away from his legitimacy as a Prime Minister. And all that Sidhu is actually going to do at the end of the day is greet someone who he knows. At the end of the day, there's no question of legitimizing someone either who is not yet Prime Minister. He's just going in for the swearing in ceremony. There's no dealing with the deep state that Navjot Singh Sidhu himself is going to do.
पाकिस्तान में लोकतांत्रिक बदलाव के ये लम्हे बहुत खास हैं. ये करोड़ों लोगों की आस और अटूट विश्वास है, और सत्य पूछो तो ये जीता जागता इतिहास है. मैं खुशकिस्मत हूं कि खान साहब ने दोस्ती के नाते मुझे न्योता दिया. ये मेरे लिए सम्मान है. गुडविल मैसेंजर के नाते मैं जा रहा हूं.
Joining us tonight on The Clash, Major General retired KK Sinha. On this side is a defense analyst, Lalit Ambardar. On this side is an activist. On that side, accompanying Madhav on his team today, Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, Suhas Chakma, director, Rights and Risk Analysis Group. The first question goes to Madhav.
Well, Lalit Ambardar, let me ask you a question. Why are we taking away from a democratic process? We do know there are flaws in it. But every democratic process has some flaws in it. Why are we taking away from the legitimacy of Imran Khan, dubbing him an actor of the deep state, and at the same time saying Sidhu is going to be collaborating with them? There is no collaboration of Sidhu and the deep state.
The very statement that Imran Khan is an elected representative of Pakistani masses is wrong, because we all know Pakistanis say it, every Pakistani politician says it, even common people are talking about it. There is a chosen one by Rawalpindi, that everybody knows. And his proximity to the jihadis in Pakistan makes him a perfect choice of Pakistan army. And also he has that public figure. He's known celebrity. He's a public figure. I think this is the time when Pakistan needed a face changeover. They brought him in there. It's a calculated move. And no, don't forget, he is known as Taliban Khan in Pakistan. And to talk about he's being a sportsman, let me remind every sports enthusiast, is Imran Khan's own statement. Whenever he took run up to the bowling Indian sportsmen, Indian batsmen, he would always have Kashmir on his mind. Okay. This is Imran Khan's own statement.
Your time's up.
Very
Next
quickly,
question.
Ashutosh Mishra, I would like to ask you, and going on what Mr. Amardar said right now, Asad Umar, very important leader of the PTI, Abdul Alim Khan, Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Ludhianvi, Ghulam Sarwar Khan, all of these PTI candidates were backed by a designated terror outfit. They either took support from them in terms of cadre or in terms of monetary help or whatever have you. These people helped them win elections. How come then, when somebody says this PTI is backed by terror elements, do not deal with them, do not trust them, how come they're branded hawkish?
Well, let's first talk about Mr. Sidhu going there. When Mr. Sidhu goes there, he's testing waters. If you don't meet Imran Khan, how do you know what Imran Khan is going to do? He may have been backed by these, and there may be allegations about the polls not having been free and fair. But our own ex-CEC, who was there as a part of the UN team, said that they were free and fair. Whom do you trust?
His time is not up.
Whom do you trust? Number one. Number two, today we bid goodbye to Atalji. And I am sure that Atalji would have batted for Sidhu going to Imran, because it's a swearing in. It's not that the Imran has taken over. So remembering Atalji, he has done the right thing.
Okay, I'll take off from here. Would Atalji have suggested the same thing? Ultimately, the peace processes that were initiated, Lahore, Agra, all of that is trademark of Atalji, as in fact Ashutosh has suggested. Why not give peace a chance?
Madhav, absolutely fine when you are saying that Atalji tried the Lahore bus and what we got with Kargil, and thereafter hijacking of IC 814, and thereafter he asked the Musharraf to come here. Musharraf refused to meet Atal Bihari there in Pakistan, and what happened thereafter? Parliament, and then we had the Operation Prakram, 6 months standoff. After that, Atal Bihari Vajpayee left that thing. You know, that didn't happen in 2001. He was the Prime Minister till 2004. He never pursued thereafter. A backstabbing 3-4 times. Thereafter, no one has done it. The same thing has been done with our own Prime Minister. This time, he went to Lahore. He tried. What happened? Then we have taken a stand that the terror and talk will not go together.
Taking off from there, Subhash Chakma, let me ask you very quickly. There can be two ways about wanting peace with Pakistan, the good and the bad of it. I accept that readily. But are there two ways about knowing that there are certain elements within Pakistan that export terror to India? Before going over and saying Imran Khan is my old friend, he's the only hope the subcontinent has, should Mr. Sidhu have waited till our own agencies confirmed that yes, there is a point in talking to Mr. Imran Khan?
I think it's essential to remember that the government of India actually has not stopped talking to the government of Pakistan. If the government of India has stopped talking to the government of Pakistan, today the meetings of the GMO would not have taken place. The National Security Advisor, Mr. Doval, would not be meeting his counterpart in Bangkok. So there are always talks which have been going on, and this person, gentleman, Mr. Sidhu, has not gone to represent the government of India. He doesn't represent it. So first of all, government of India has to make it clear. Is it in talks with the government of India or not in talks with the government of Pakistan? I think where we are at the moment is that we are not having ministerial and summit level talks, but let's be frank, there are talks between the government of India at a very senior level, at the level of the National Security Advisor, which second to none, you know, in terms of this matter. So what we are saying, that there are no talks with the government of India? Are we trying to make people fool?
All right, very important point. I want to take off from there. Lalit Anbardar, are these double standards? Because at the end of the day, government of India can talk at the highest levels, but when an individual minister goes in a personal capacity, not in an official capacity, you're out to hang him out to dry.
Number one, what is happening at the government level, it's a government level, there's a policy planning, there's something being pursued.
Yes.
You can't compare an individual's initiative with what government of India is doing. Number two,
No, but if it's wrong, then government is wrong. And
government cannot be wrong. They'll pursue whatever they think good is for the national security.
This is what I'm talking about. This is double standards.
Sidhu is not an
the memory
individual.
of our jawans.
Sidhu is not an individual.
I want to come in here.
Should we
If the
start
memory
this
of
dialogue?
one at a time, gentlemen, just one at a time. Let's keep this orderly. I'm just counter questioning you. If the memory of jawans, if there's so much of that has happened, so much of bad blood between the two countries, if that is indeed the case, then let the government decide that we will not go to Pakistan, ban trade, ban visiting the country, and then criticize Sidhu if he defies that.
Absolutely.
I'm with you on that.
Listen to me. Just listen to me. You know what happened? You know, during the election, there were 400 guys waiting in the 11 launch pads, starting from, you know, the area of Gurej right to up to Sundarbani. After the election, it has gone to 600. You ask the people who knows about this intelligence. And now, and 200 figure, it has come from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. You know, who are these people? These people are the news establishment which has come, and they want to get inside this area. So at this time, the DGMO has spoken yesterday, and they said that the firing has not stopped. Our firing is going across. You know, there are raids. And they said, you stop it, we'll stop the firing.
I'm not against
And you know, when all these things are happening,
point.
please, for the God's sake, please, you made a statement. Ajit Doval is meeting them in Bangkok. Those things, I will start meeting, you know, someone in Pakistan. Open my channel.
I think what General is trying to say is back channel is one thing, official dialogue is one thing.
Back channel is also supported by the government.
One second. Where does Sidhu fit in? Also, I'm not against
You can't
peace.
do it to personal
General,
level.
one second. Give me a second. Let me ask you a simple question. So, Chakma, I'm not against peace. And only an insane person would be against peace between two warring countries. But having said that, let me ask you this. What is the hurry? We've dealt with successive governments in Pakistan. Whether you believe they were proxies or not doesn't really matter. We know the deep state is in control. What's the harm in waiting how Imran's first 6 months will be? Why the hurry?
Yes.
Look, at the end of the day, Mr. Sidhu is a government minister. He cannot visit Pakistan without sanction of the government of India, and he had sought
Important
sanction.
point.
No, please.
He has been without the permission of the government of India. He cannot even. So what I am saying is that the government of India has to make its position clear. I completely agree that Mr. Imran Khan might be the proxy. He represents the Taliban and all other forces. There is no denial about that. Now, where there is a question, and where the issue is,
but they are very serious.
They are serious issues. Then the government of India should say
One after the other.
Your teammate wants to speak.
Okay, 10 seconds to you and then I'll let them start. 10 seconds to you.
See, Manishankar Iyer is going. He is going against the country. He is making, government is against that. But they are not stopping Manishankar Iyer to go there. So saying that even Sidhu has gone with the concurrence of the government is totally wrong.
Parliament.
No.
State minister. He's not a minister in the center.
Okay. Lalit.
They have gone with the concurrence of the government.
Lalit.
Sidhu is a lawmaker, all the more important for him. What about government of India is not going to stop him because there is no legitimate reason to stop him. If he wants to go there, he can go. Look at Kapil Dev. Look at Sunil Gavaskar. They took more responsibility on them. They stopped.
Number two,
you have to remember, this is on the eve of, or just we had Independence Day. Remember what happened on the 14th of August 1947. Pakistan's base foundations are based on hatred for Hindu and India, and you cannot forget that. You know, from Jinnah, who was ready to have truncated and moth-eaten Pakistan because he didn't want to live with Hindus. Then Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, another civilian, he said a war of 1,000 years.
One at a time, please. Gentlemen, please.
About 1,000 years war to inflict
Complete your point.
Then Imran Khan, opening statement, even before he was sworn as the Prime Minister, the core issue between India and Pakistan is Kashmir. Is Sidhu subscribing to the view that Kashmir is the core issue between India and Pakistan? Which Pakistan is claimed is an unfinished agenda of
Let someone respond to you. One second. Please, 1 moment. Yeah, let him respond.
First of all, Mr. Sidhu has to go because he has been invited
has
to
to
swearing
go.
in.
No, 1 second.
He has been invited to swearing in, so he cannot wait for 6 months.
Well, he doesn't
Number
have to
one.
go,
What
sir.
about the
No,
moral
if he has to go.
responsibility?
Let him finish his point, his point, you can come to
If we have to
General
build-
Sinha, please.
if we have to have some relationship and we have to have dialogue with a new prime minister, we cannot on day one
Sidhu
declare
can't be the
day one.
point.
Why
Sir, 1
cannot-
second,
why
let
cannot he
someone
be?
speak.
He's a
Sidhu
lawmaker.
can't be the point of that, sir. All I'm
He is
saying
a
is
connection.
Sidhu cannot be where it starts.
Nimrana initiatives, what are that? Person to person, track to diplomacy.
This is
What's
not track two, sir.
No,
He's
no,
a line. He's a
no,
politician
sir.
in the
No, sir.
limelight.
So
Track
he's
two
going
is
there.
different.
When
NSA
he
talks
goes
are
there,
different.
there is a channel opening, na? There is a channel of communication opening. We have to realize that we are not in state of war, and all this talk about
state of war, we are not in
we are
state of
we are
war.
we
We
are
are in state of war.
Okay.
We are in state of war.
We are still having trade with them. We are still having trade with them. Our
So
trade
what?
are
So
still
what?
happening.
So the
That is more important. That is more important. Either you
Let him
ban
finish the
trade,
point.
or
What is
you
that?
say
This is
that we
too
don't
loud.
have any
That is
interaction.
government.
No, this is not the
Okay,
format. This is
response.
not the
Let's
format.
get a
This is
response
not
and
the
you can respond
format.
back.
This is not the
Okay,
format.
General
You have to wait for your term. Suhas Chakma wants to make a point, then General Sinha. Nobody else speak in the middle, please.
Okay.
I just had one point to make. I read the statement of Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. He had clearly stated
Yes.
that he cannot go there
Prior
because of his
commitments.
own
I understand.
business contract.
Prior commitments,
And the
yes.
other person cannot go because he has personal reason. None of them had said that they are not going there simply because of the relations between the two countries. So let's not put our own words into the mouth of Gavaskar or interpret in a manner which they had not said.
Okay, General Sinha.
Okay.
General Sinha.
Yeah. Now he's saying Sunil Gavaskar and Kapil Dev are not going because they were, engagement, prior engagement was there. This is the thing, sensible man will do it. Atal Bihari Vajpayee has died. Today was the funeral. But the Sidhu has crossed Wagah border. What a shame. What a shame.
Okay, time for a second question.
Time for
Now,
the second question. Question number 2 tonight on The Clash is this. Has Sidhu undermined India's official position? That's question number 2. Here are my submissions for that argument. Enthusiasm for peace is welcome, Mr. Sidhu, and I will stand by you. But we have to be careful, we have to be cautious. Desh must come before dost. No matter how much you trust Mr. Imran Khan. The Imran Khan you knew was a cricketer, had a different life. This is a different creature we're dealing with right now. He's had to make changes, not only in his philosophy, but he's also had to has done political trade-offs to be where he is today. So in your over-enthusiasm, do not forget, we are at proxy war with Pakistan for a very long time. Point number 2 on this argument, the sacrifices made by Indian Jawans, armed forces, people who get the bullet really from Pakistan when they're defending the borders can be undermined. The forces perhaps will not like it too much. I can't speak for everyone else in the forces, but clearly the family of those would have wanted you to wait before you trusted Pakistan, no matter who's at the helm, Imran Khan or somebody else.
and here's my counter. At the end of the day, this is an interpersonal meeting. It's not an intergovernmental exchange. The interests of the nation, of the Desh, have not been compromised at any level, with Sidhu attending just the swearing-in ceremony of Imran Khan. What about Nawaz Sharif coming here to India? Was that a compromise by Pakistan? Is that how it was perceived over there? And what about the fact that, in fact, a bat with the signatures of the entire Indian cricket team was gifted by the High Commissioner Ajay Bisaria just a few days ago to Imran Khan? Was that a compromise of the national interest as well? Because there certainly cannot be two standards. There cannot be two yardsticks when it comes to Pakistan. We have to hold the government, the opposition, the BJP, the Congress, all political parties to the same yardsticks. And that's my question to you, Lalit Ambardar. Was not the gifting of the bat wrong by this yardstick?
Listen, as far as I go, I say pursuing peace with Pakistan is like chasing mirage, because as long as two-nation theory governs to be is to be the existential principle of Pakistan's
So are
existence.
you calling out the India government? Are you calling out the India government saying
yes,
their move was
I
wrong?
say break all the relations with Pakistan as long as they are not stopping the war in Kashmir. You know, imagine the morale of the family of Rifleman Aurangzeb. With what brutality he was killed in Kashmir. What is the morale of his commanders, his soldiers who are fighting war in Kashmir? When Sidhu is a public figure, he has fans amongst the military forces as well, security forces as well. What are they defending in Kashmir when he goes there and speaks for
quick
peace?
response. Yes, I have a question for you, but go ahead, please.
I think the government of India, and India is a big country, government of India is a very powerful country, and it is not going to be swayed by visit of a particular person in his personal capacity. I think what we ought to realize is that the government of India's approach towards Pakistan has not been consistent. I'm talking about this particular government. The way you visit Afghanistan, on the way back you stop, then some incidents take place and you lose the entire script. I think we have to remember one particular thing which I want to highlight. The attack on Pathankot took place, investigation started. If the government of India was serious,
okay,
the government
well, I agree with the central premise.
So just one, I just want half a second.
Yes.
If the government of India was serious, at that point of time, they would have said, if the Pakistani team comes this side,
Your charge is the government is not consistent with its approach to Pakistan. I agree at some central level here, but here's what I ask you, and here's what I ask you coming from that. Why not leave the business of dealing with Pakistan to the people who are supposed to deal with it? Whether or not the government's approach is inconsistent, we are nobody to say. It's the government's prerogative. Why is Sidhu jumping in?
So you have given the answer to your question yourself.
Well, leave it to the government. Why is Sidhu
is not going there as representative of India. He is there on a personal visit.
He's a goodwill ambassador.
What we are seeing here is an artificial construct of nationalism by jingoistic elements who are infringing on personal freedom of private citizens. Sidhu never says that I am going there.
Sidhu is no more a private citizen. I say he's a public figure.
He's a lawmaker.
He's a public figure. You know, when he goes there, he's endorsing Taliban Khan in Pakistan.
We are out of time.
Don't forget that, please.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening on The Clash from Athar Khan and me. Join us once again on Monday night for The Clash.